Alright, welcome to our YouTube. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you about exercise selection for upper body for rugby players. So if you're a rugby player and you want to put on size, strength, you want more power, then this video is going to be for you, and we're also going to do a lower body one as well. So be on the lookout for that. Just go through our videos, you might be able to see it already. Okay, so let's get into this. So exercise selection, before we even start to pick exercises, you need to understand, okay, what are we trying to get out of this? Okay, are we trying to get speed, strength, okay, strength and hypertrophy? All right, so for most people, strength and hypertrophy, all right, that's what a lot of people come for, okay? And if you go back to some of our other videos about power training, you'll see that if you want to be powerful, you need speed and you need strength, okay? And on most people who haven't got the most out of their strength yet will do really well from just sticking to this. Okay, this is also helpful, okay, but they'll get really good from focusing on that. Okay, so the big difference between my super player program and maximum muscle focuses more on this more of the time, and then the super player program has more of this in it as well. Okay, so I usually recommend the super player program because it's overall for everything for all rugby players. Okay, it doesn't matter what position you are. Anyway, I want to run you through this so you know how to go and then set up your own program if you wanted to. So you could go into our app, you could put all of your own exercises in there. All of these exercises are there. You can even look up different muscles, muscle groups, and it'll say what exercises you could do. So I wanted you to be able to do that. So where I'm going to start with this stuff because I don't think this is what most people are here for. So first you need to look at, are you a beginner? Like, have you ever been to the gym before? Is this your first time, like you're trying to wonder what to do? If that's the case, then I would be looking at this from a beginner's perspective, and then I'll get into more advanced stuff. Beginners, if you just focus here for a minute, okay, this is where you'll get most of your results, okay? Because you haven't tapped into the muscle fibers yet, okay? So because you haven't tapped into many muscle fibers yet, you have so much potential there to go and tap into those muscle fibers to get stronger, and then that will give you more power out in the field. More power, more speed, all these different things, okay? Being bigger, putting on muscle doesn't mean it'll slow you down. If you put on a whole lot of fat, you'll probably slow down, So strength and hypertrophy. So let's look at the upper body. Let's break it down to deltoids, which is shoulders, chest. Okay, we all know that is back muscles, and biceps, triceps, forearms. Okay, so you'll see a lot of guys, they'll go into the gym, they'll focus on the biceps, they'll try and get some big old guns. But I'm going to tell you right now, all of your muscles are only going to get as big as many fast twitch muscle fibers that you already have. Okay, so that's just how it works. How you sort of look now, you will look like that but bigger. Okay, so like if you don't have like those biceps that like sort of stick out like that already, you're not going to get them because that's just not how muscles work, all right? You can only tap into muscle fibers that you already have, okay? And our job is to pick pick exercises which are going to help us tap into more muscle fibers faster, okay? And that's going to help you grow. So, before I dive right back into there, I should also say that the muscle will grow where it has most leverage in a movement, okay? So we need tension, and the biggest driver for growth is mechanical tension, okay? So people will say that there's muscle damage as well and metabolites, but if we look at the research, you'll see that mechanical tension has always been the biggest driver in the research. Mechanical tension is always sort of the number one thing to have. And so if you actually look at it and you understand fatigue, then you would know that if you chase muscle damage, it's going to take away from mechanical tension and when you can next train again and get the most mechanical tension. And so what we want to do is like, how can we have the most mechanical tension so that our muscles grow the fastest, and how can we get the most frequency into them so that they keep on growing and growing, okay? And so that is the challenge, right? That is the challenge that we're after as natural athletes, and that's the big thing. We're natural because we're rugby players. So for beginners, I would pick, this is my favorite split for beginners, is to do 3 full bodies, okay? 3 full bodies a week, okay? That means you get 3 stimulus on the muscle. If you don't have that much time, do 2, and you will get amazing results. I promise that you will get amazing results as a beginner. And all you need to really do is pick one main one from each of the groups. Okay, and you would do that 3 times a week. So say you bench press, and now you could do that with dumbbells, you could do that with a barbell. It's up to you. I prefer a barbell because most people have access to it. It's a bit more stable, so you can recruit more muscle fibers. So the more stable it is, the more the brain can then activate those muscle fibers that we need to tap into. And also, people just like bench press. It's a competition, you know. It's like who's got the biggest bench press, whatever. We all know it. So, as a beginner, you'll get deltoids out of that. You'll get triceps, and you'll get chest. As an advanced athlete, because you've gotten so strong, you'll probably only get 1 or 2 of those. So you might get deltoids and mostly triceps, and you'll see big presses usually have really big triceps. Like they'll have big, thick triceps because when they're doing all their presses, it's mainly their triceps getting the recruitment because they're the strongest. So the brain and the body is smart. It will use what it can use most effectively. Okay, and as you get stronger and stronger and stronger, all right, it's going to really dial that in. Okay, and some muscle fibers, like say chest in a bench press, may not be active enough to be able to actually grow. Okay, and that is the thing, they might stay the same, but they're not going to grow. So someone like an advanced person might actually need more like dumbbell flies to really hit the chest. So that's going to take away from the other movements. Okay, they might need a machine which is more stable, and they can really hit their chest. Okay, in comparison to a press. So as a beginner, yeah, pick a couple of these. So I would usually pick a bench press on one day, a shoulder press on another day, so you get a bit of both. Maybe a fly on another day, so you're hitting that, or a dip. Okay, and when you do that, you cover already, yeah, like I said, biceps, triceps. Okay, so if you just picked 3 of these, so if I pick bench press and a chin up for a beginner, okay, we're going to get back, we're going to get lats. We might want a row with that, so it hits a different part. So we might have like a rear delt row, or it's like an elbow up, which you hit the rear delts and give you that shoulder, the extra protection you want. And then you might do maybe 1 tricep or an extra bicep that week, or a forearm. I always add in forearms. So for rugby players, you want to have really strong grips. Okay, you want to be able to hold things. You want to be able to wrap your own hands. Just strong grips really unlocks your upper body. And a strong grip will also help out things like your back, like your lat pull down, like your chin ups. Okay, because if your grip's really strong, then the brain doesn't have to work as hard to activate as much muscle fibers in the grip. It can then send more signal to the lats, essentially. Okay, so it's actually a really good way to get your chin ups up, is having a really good grip. So any of these exercises, so if I look at deltoids, just deltoids, you got your shoulder press. Now when you're doing a shoulder press, people think that I need to do 1,000 lateral raises to build up that part of the that deltoid, so the middle deltoid, and that'll be like a real bodybuilding thing. But rugby players do it too. They'll try and get that big pump. But a shoulder press, actually, from here to here, that's the same movement as this. Same movement. Same part of the delt's going to overload. So in your shoulder press, you'll actually hit the front and the side. So once you get to here, that front is going to take over with the tricep, obviously. Okay? Lateral raise, I just talked about that. Behind head press, more an advanced one, but a really good one for rugby players to get that flexibility and being that strength behind their head. Okay, it's not an obvious bodybuilding one, but in terms of rugby players being strong and having that shoulder range, I think it's a really good one, really important one. It may reduce injury. Who knows? Like, I'm not going to throw out crazy claims that people like to throw out on everywhere. With your back exercises, rows are a really big one. So pick a row that is stable. So if you're doing a single arm row of dumbbells, it's a really good one, obviously, but try and pick one where your chest is going to be supported, because that's going to allow you to row as much as possible. And then when your biceps, now this is going to annoy a lot of people, but your biceps, I'm going to come over here, you don't need to do a crazy amount of biceps. All right, you don't need to do high reps biceps, actually. Biceps and triceps, chest, they are some of the most easily damaged muscles in the body, okay, which means they're going to take longer to recover. If you do more reps and higher reps with those muscle groups, they are going to take way longer to recover and they're going to impact the next time you can work out. Okay, so if you're not going to work them out for another week, then you're going to probably have some atrophy unless you're an absolute beginner. Yeah, you need to work out, okay, well, how much volume am I going to do considering the next time I'm going to work out, okay? And so if you can keep that in mind, these 1, 2, 3, chest, biceps, triceps, damage easily, then you know like they probably don't need the amount of volume actually to get the growth. What they might do is actually grow better from more stimulus frequently. Biceps is a big one though. A preacher curl supinator. So where a bicep, bicep brachii in particular has the most leverage, where it's strongest, is in between being straight and 45. And so if you go into a preacher curl, which is where you'll have your hands out like that, this is where the weight's also going to be heaviest, okay, which is perfectly matching up what you want that bicep to do. So you want that bicep to get the most stimulus in that movement. So a preacher curl with supinated grip is probably one of the best bicep exercises you'll do. And obviously you've got 3 others, so you've got 2 other biceps. Okay, so if you do a pronated grip, all right, what it does is it's actually going to switch off that biceps brachii, okay, and then we can work the other heads of the bicep, okay? So if you do a pronated grip, that's all that's happening. So you've got to think about that. So they're probably the 2 best dumbbell exercises you'll do. I mean, not dumbbell, bicep exercises you'll do. And that's all you really need, okay? And I know a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, I saw this bodybuilder doing X, Y, and Z, all these different exercises for their bicep, and you've got to get inside of your bicep. Most of them are taking steroids and they don't actually understand how it actually works. That's it, I said it, okay? And most strength coaches don't even understand how it works. So, speed. If we get that, if you get this stuff right, even as an advanced guy, like all this is going to help. As you advance too, like you might not get much more from this. Okay, it might be really, really slow. And so doing this sort of stuff, okay, might even help more. Okay, so like you burn a bench press. So like doing stuff fast is maybe where you're going to get the rest of your results, okay? And you can do this stuff as a beginner too. Don't get me wrong. Like I give this stuff to beginners, your med ball throws, your power push-ups, because I want you to learn how to move things fast as well as getting really strong. And so you have these 2 different categories. If you go back to our power video, you'll see how to get powerful for rugby. You'll see where I talk about the different categories you need to train. And so these 2 I would do towards the start when you're most fresh. I'd keep the volume very low and I keep it really powerful. And I say like keep the volume low because we want to get strong over here, right? We want to get strong. All right, the stronger you can be, then the better it is. And once again, that is quite genetic as well. If you have any questions on this, please hit me up. Send me a message on Rugby Development Coach on Instagram. Give us a follow. If you've been liking this or you want to check out our programs, the link will be below on Rugby Development Coach. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. And I hope you enjoyed it.